Well, Manuel Terradinos from our Spanish service joins me now in the studio for more on this. Manu, good to see you here. Are you surprised at the length of these sentences?
Buenas tardes, Todd. Good afternoon. Well, the answer is yes and no. We expected already that they were going to be finally sentenced for sedition. That's something that had been leaked to the media during the weekend. So rebellion was totally ruled out. But actually, the sentences are quite tough because, for example, if we take Oriol Junqueras, who was vice president of the regional government at that time, he's been sentenced to 13 years of prison and inhabilitation. And when we were talking about sedition, we were speaking about a maximum of 15 years. So we're speaking of 13 years out of 15, which is quite a lot. And then if we continue with the list, all the other members of the government, the consellers, which are the equivalents of regional ministers, if you want, are getting between 12 and 10. Some of them, we know them like Rumeva, who is the foreign affairs regional minister, if you want, or foreign interior minister, the person who was in charge of the regional police, the Mossos d'Esquadra, with everything that happened involving this security forces unit. Carme Forcadell, who was the Speaker of the House, he got 11 years and a half. And she is the person who actually read the Declaration of Independence in the regional parliament. And afterwards, during the trial, said that actually it was more like a political statement rather than an actual and real unilateral Declaration of Independence. She's getting 11 years and a half. And then the famous Jordis, these top activists, the leaders of the two more prominent civil associations in Catalonia who are pushing for independence, they are getting 9 years. Apart from them, we have another members of the regional government who played not an important role as all the others who are basically being fined.
Okay. And how have these people who've been sentenced, how have they been reacting? And also, I wanted to ask you, given that this sentence came out a bit earlier than what we were expecting, can we read anything into that?
Yeah, well, we said at the very beginning it was leaked during the weekend that it was going to be they were going to be sentenced for sedition instead of rebellion to try to ease a little bit the pressure in the Catalan society, but I don't know if it's going to work. And well, today we were expecting it for midday. Finally, did it at 9. I think it was mainly the fact that they didn't want to have any leak about it. They wanted really to inform first those who were accused before media, let's say, could say anything. They've reacted. Torre has spoken. It was the president of the regional government. He's giving a statement right now. He said it's been an insult to democracy, and this is against democracy. And then among those who have been sentenced, we have Oriol Junqueras. He's done it on Twitter and on social media, like all the others. They have been, all of them, quite defiant. He said, we're going to keep fighting, and we are going to win. We're starting an historical journey. Carme Forcadell, the Speaker of the House, the person, as I said, who read in the Declaration of Independence, said this is an injustice, dark times for democracy, or even Carles Puigdemont has put it all together. He says it's 1 year of prison. We have to answer back like we've never done before.
And now you mentioned that perhaps the sentence came out early to ease pressure amongst the Catalan society. Thousands of people are expected to take to the streets. Do you think the heavy weight of these sentences is going to have an enormous impact on that?
Of course, we are already speaking about streets blocked in Barcelona. Universities and students are mobilizing, especially some unions of students who are pro-independence. They're asking for major protests this afternoon. And this is something that obviously the pro-independence movement is going to use to have a boost because elections are coming, and this is a really good opportunity to take it to, let's say, again, global stage when all this process had been a little bit stuck because also of the paralysis we have in Spain regarding the government.
Okay, and just before we let you go, this isn't the end of the process by any means at all, is it?
No, technically still there is march for appeals, so they can go first to the Constitutional Tribunal, even they can go to the Tribunal of Human Rights in Strasbourg. So it's going to be long in the streets and also probably in the tribunals.
Okay, Manuel Terradinos, thank you for joining me on that subject.
Always a pleasure.